So a common thing that I'm seeing is a lot of men will try to like disqualify a woman as a potential dating option because he will claim like he has standards. So he will say something like, oh, I have standards, so I'm not going to date a woman with that kind of behavior, even if she's beautiful. Or guys will say like, oh, I have certain standards, so I'm just going to continuously keep being the nice guy until I meet that special someone, or until I meet that one woman who really likes me for me. What you're going to notice as you date more, well, some of you will notice this if you actually go out in the real world and get experience. Others, you're probably just going to keep watching these videos without taking any action ever. What you're going to notice, which is fine, keep in mind, like, it's your life. What you're going to notice is that women don't actually care about your standards at all, because they're probably not attracted to you. So a lot of guys, they'll be like, oh, well, I have standards, so she's going to have to earn me. The truth is, she's not going to earn you. She's probably just going to think that you're weird. Because what you're going to notice is that women are never going to really ever like voluntarily associate themselves, like their own identity, with any kind of like negative behavioral traits. Like any type of behavior trait that they have, they're never going to think that it's a negative. If she parties a lot, she's going to tell herself that she's a free spirit. If she like, for example, a woman is also probably never going to like say, oh yes, I'm promiscuous, or like associate herself with like a promiscuous character or like a promiscuous identity or personality trait. She's going to say something like, oh, well, he was really hot, or he made me feel good, or he had a lot of status. Women will typically find a reason why they're doing everything. So whether you have women who have what you would call high value characteristics, or whether you find women that have different negative behavior traits in your mind, she doesn't care. Okay, she's never going to care about your standard. A lot of times they're just going to think that you're weird. So like, let's say you're super religious and you're saying something like, oh, well, I shouldn't do this, or I can't do this, or I'm not going to date you because of this. She might just think like, oh, that's strange, or that's weird, or she might even say, well, you're the type of guy I wouldn't date anyways, or you're the type of guy I don't like. Okay, so women are going to just choose the men that they find attractive. So what you're going to find right now is there's a lot of men coping, okay, with the current like dating market, if you want to call it that. And keep in mind, this video is not scripted at all. Like, I typically wake up and write notes, but this one I just like woke up and I just like saw this, because I saw some of this weekend with some of the dudes that I know who are out. They would say things like, well, I have standards, so I'm not going to go talk to her, or she's not the type of woman I would date, even though he thinks she's completely gorgeous, and you can tell. Women are just going to choose the men who they think are attractive. Now, what I can also tell you is this: women are hypersensitive to words, okay? They are hypersensitive to words. You can go from a guy who is very hot in their mind, attractive, high quality, to all of a sudden saying a couple sentences and ruining the vibe, and all of a sudden she views you as like a 4 or 5 or a 6. And now all of a sudden you're completely disqualified because they're hypersensitive to words. Now here's the thing. I understand that you've been told, and even myself, I've said oftentimes, that women optimize for survival and women are hypergamous, okay? You might be sitting there wondering, well, why would they be hypersensitive to words if they're hypergamous? Doesn't that mean that the man who can protect and provide the most and the best is going to satisfy hypergamy, therefore words shouldn't matter as much? You would think, in theory, that's how it should work, right? But what you're going to find in today's dating market is like, women don't need men for everything. Or women don't even really need men for anything, because what you're going to find is a woman's hypergamy from a protection and provider standpoint is already satisfied. Okay? The world is already built. There's already shelter. Okay? Like, hypergamy optimizes most for what's missing. Okay? So women will select oftentimes the man in their life that fills a specific void or a specific feeling. Well, if all of her basic needs, and even more than her basic needs, are already fulfilled, what is she now optimizing for? She's optimizing for the hot guy. She's optimizing for good genetics. She's optimizing for confidence. She's optimizing for internal character and confidence that makes him the hot guy, right? Assertive attitudes. She's optimizing for the guy who turns her on. So this is what you're going to have to remember as you continue to date throughout 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, the next 5-10 years. What's most important is going to be the things that turn a woman on, that makes you hot. Okay? Women today don't care about your bank account. Women today don't care about, the house you live in. Women don't care about a lot of this stuff. Women want to be with the guy that turns them on. Okay? Which means things like confidence, swagger, assertiveness, indifference, aura, identity, unique masculine archetype. He's a character. Okay? You have to be someone that gives you this unshakable confidence. Okay? And when you do this, you now get to be that hot guy, or you now get to be the guy that she finds hot, due to the fact that you're filling the specific void of hypergamy that she's optimizing for. So I understand that this video is probably a little bit long-winded, but a lot of these guys who claim that they have standards, you're going to keep getting left for a different man. A lot of these guys who you keep saying, she's going to really have to earn me. She's not. She's just going to go find a guy who doesn't say those things, because they're hypersensitive to words. So as soon as you start to say logical criteria, I only will date a woman like this, I only date a woman with good moral character, I only will date a woman who is professional and career oriented, she's going to look at you and go, what? Or she's going to go, you're weird. Or she's going to go, well, I don't like you anyways. And you might sit there and go, oh, well, she's just saying that because maybe she's angry that I have standards, or she's angry that I wouldn't select her. She's not. She's genuinely turned off at this point. She genuinely thinks something is like off. And she's going to go, well, the vibe's off. I don't feel the same way towards him anymore. If you're a man right now dating, you have to understand this. You need to spend as close to 100% of your time on your own, not only self-improvement, but you need to improve areas in your life that's going to add perceived layers of status and perceived layers of SMV. You have to actually raise and heighten your sexual market value. Now, some of you guys, okay, I'm going to give you some real advice here. You have to take an objective look at yourself, and you need to really start filling in the gaps, okay? So, to make yourself more competitive on an attraction level, on a looks level, you need to do all of the little things, or all of the mini things that adds up into what is attractive. So let's say you cut out the sugar. Let's say you cut out the drinking. Well, what happens? Maybe your skin looks healthier. You have less, puffiness to your face. You look more aesthetic. Well, you take it a step further. You say, based on my unique masculine archetype, my unique identity, based on who I am, how can I look? How can I dress? How can I carry myself? How can I appear to step into that character? Because you have to understand, at the end of the day, she's still going to gravitate towards a man who demonstrates identity. Okay? And this is true in any circumstance or in any situation. If it's a rodeo, the guy who's actually the one riding the bull okay, in character, is the unique masculine archetype. When there is a house party or a pool party, why does the DJ attract the women and the rest of the guys are sitting there hoping that they can just even say hello, no matter how tall, good looking, or attractive they are? The DJ is displaying identity, okay? Why do a lot of, let's say, the nurses have attraction to the doctors or the surgeons? Because those guys are displaying identity, a character, an I am statement. I am this. This is me. This is my aura. Okay? When you start to see this, when you can step into that I am statement, I am this. There is no changing me. This is my rock solid identity. This is my unique character. There is no changing me. You start to get ahead. But most guys right now, what you're going to see is they're totally flexible in character. So they are wearing clothes to keep up with the latest fashion trends. They are posting different things on social media because it's the latest trend. So what you're going to find is that they are actually fitting themselves into some type of character to be someone to keep up with the latest trend and not actually embodying who they are on a core level. This is very important to understand. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.